Just give it a minute before you say anything. Oh crap, that's gonna be in it. And we are live on Nepas TV in the Situation Room. I am joined tonight by the one, the only Paul Gordon, Master Poker.
It's a wonderful privilege for me to be here. Wonderful privilege.
It's a privilege to have you on.
I'm fortunate that I'm alive, and I just want to let the studio audience know that I am reporting on the Poke Wars from the perspective. Well, not really the perspective, but Paul Gordon is currently engaged in a poke war with the rest of the world, and I, Paul Gordon, will report on the facts, just the facts, in an unbiased, fair, and balanced way.
Just the tip.
You can rely on me, just the tip. You can rely on me to deliver the non-fake news.
And there's a lot of that going on. A lot of people are very confused by the amount of pokes going on. Even Zuckerberg is a little bit confused as to why this ancient relic of Facebook history is being used in this, I guess you could say, ruthless asymmetrical warfare, guerrilla warfare.
We have received notifications from Zuckerberg. That's a fact. That's actual fact.
It's an objective fact.
Objective fact.
And actually, I'm getting pokes in now. I just got a poke from Caleb Bader. That's the first poke from him. He's just getting his feet wet. These rookies, they don't know what they're getting into.
I have a couple of rookies that have just joined me, and Daryl DeVille. Daryl DeVille has joined me about 18 hours ago.
Wow.
I have yet to respond to his what really is an unmitigated, unbridled poke of aggression, which will be met with not just equal force, but all-encompassing, all-exploding force. I also want to thank Nia Sturgis, who has just joined in the poke war.
Nia Sturgis, yes.
I thank you for giving me a reason. Well, Paul Gordon thanks you. Let's not blur the lines here. Paul Gordon thanks you. I'm Paul Gordon, a reporter. Paul Gordon, the Lord of the Poke, thanks you for joining in this. This is you're up to 5 pokes already, and you just joined in. Congratulations! And Andrew Ferguson, you will rue the day that you tangled with the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon.
Yeah, little do you know about Nia. We've been poking back and forth for quite some time, but she's only at 17 pokes. But
but
she is well acquainted with the poke war. Yeah, don't take her lightly.
It would seem to me, though, that she has taken a more aggressive stance against me as opposed to you. This goes to, well, not me, but Paul Gordon. I am Paul Gordon, a reporter, not Paul Gordon, the Lord of the Poke.
Right.
I'm objective, fair, and balanced. Remember that, folks. But it does seem that she's taken a more aggressive stance against the Lord of the Poke. That would make sense. The Lord of the Poke would be much more of a threat to her well-being, since basically she's a pokerist. Right. All of you are pokerists.
All of these pokerists, all of these pokes of aggression.
The poke terrorists, pokerists.
Yes, they won't be it will not be forgotten.
No, absolutely not. We will charge forward. We will meet them in the comments. We will meet them in the statuses. We will meet them in the memes. We will never surrender.
Never. This poke war is forever.
Never.
Not until everyone has been poked will we rest.
Not until everyone has been poked and does not poke back. There is a warrior who, at one point, I must admit, I understand that Walt Bedford has joined us, and he is claiming false flags. He is a pokerist. He works for Infopokes, so
see, I've got 16.
Serious.
I've got 16 pokes on him. He was complaining earlier that we weren't poking back, and he didn't understand the nature of the poke war.
He doesn't understand. This is a long, patient war, Walt. You're up to 10 pokes. You are hardly even a speck in the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon's eye at this point.
It's not the pokes you want; it's the pokes you need.
Right. Yes. Absolutely. You have. You and I, we are aligned on these points, albeit the Lord of the Poke is not so friendly to you.
No, I mean we're locked in a utter eternal battle. We're at 606, I believe.
Pretty much a death struggle here.
We're in the death thralls of poking.
You and the Lord of the Poke are pretty much in a death struggle. I believe they call you the Fey Poker. Is that correct?
The Fey Poker, yes.
The Fey Poker.
A lot of people are confused by my poking orientation.
Right. A lot of people are confused, but he is a 6 poker. He just looks like. Well, we don't need to go down that road.
I mean, look at the hair sweep.
Right. Absolutely.
It's not a poke.
And I want to welcome Carl Gremmel Wilkert.
Little late to the game, a little anxious, a little rambunctious to get in.
Carl, you will rue the day that you chose to challenge with the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon.
Coming in with one poke.
Coming in with one solitary, pitiful poke.
I mean, is he representing the French? Did he never even fired his gun?
No. He's not representing anything. Carl is as far as the poke wars are concerned. Carl is kind of setting himself up to be the French of World War II.
It's not saying much about the Sovereignty Network. I'm just saying.
It's not. The Sovereignty. I mean, their name, Sovereignty. Not anymore.
You got to get with the pokes. You got to get with the pokes. This isn't a child's game.
You will be absorbed into Poketopia under the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon.
You will be annexed.
You will.
Choose your alliance wisely.
For your own freedom, though. So we do not conquer and conquest and imperialize for our own health and for our own wealth. We do it for your freedom.
I do have a notable poke, finally, from Jacob Frost. He's well known for his chucking.
That is a
rambunctious kind of poke coming from him. That is an honorable mention.
That is a young man facing a lot of pressures right now who still took the time to brutally assault you with a poke. I actually think that at this point, we are probably, I'd say you and I were benevolent in that since they poked us, all these folks poked us first. I don't care what the facts say. Yeah. Facts be darned. They're just an inconvenience to my narrative, and my narrative will rule the day here. Well, the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon's narrative, and I want to let you know that I am giving you the fair and balanced, unbiased news. Okay. I am not the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon. I am Paul Gordon, a reporter. That's completely different. I mean, we might look the same and occupy the same body, but that's beside the point.
I mean, there's a couple there's a couple pokes missing in action here. Joey Openberger, I believe his name is. He was quite a ruthless poker, but he's not present at the moment. I don't know where.
That reminds me. Who was the ruthless poker? Actually, I was referring to this, and I got distracted.
Adam Brisbois of Anarchy Vapors. Actually,
I do want to point out that Adam at one point I considered. Well, I didn't consider Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon, considered one of his most stringent adversaries. But alas, Adam has gone AWOL, and he has not been heard of for quite some time. I think it's been over 18, 20 hours, somewhere around there. So
something like
there is concern that perhaps he has fallen.
He might be a fallen comrade.
It may be a fallen comrade, and if so, we will award you a purple poke. Don't worry. We do award purple pokes to those who fall. For instance, I awarded Derica Klaus a purple poke. Yes. Out of the goodness of my heart. Derica Klaus, who never... she was shot down over Pokestania.
This is very early on. Very early on. The first poke was heard around the world. She was right there.
She didn't even get her first poke out. She was getting ready. And what happened, she got shot down. She's no more. Derica Klaus, R.I.P. And apparently a clone took her place, a fake news version of Derica Klaus. And I, out of my benevolence, awarded Derica Klaus posthumously the purple poke. And the fake Derica Klaus decided to accuse Paul Gordon, Lord of the Poke. Not me. I'm not Paul Gordon. I'm Paul Gordon, a reporter, a fair and balanced, unbiased. Accused Paul Gordon, Lord of the Poke, of war crimes, of poking Derica after Derica was already down, which is a bald-faced lie. And she used a very, very, very cheap Photoshop picture to.
Yeah, we're not going to give that any credence.
We shan't even deign to show that to our audience, because our audience is very sophisticated, except for the ones that don't believe us.
You'll be able to look it up later.
Yes, you will. You'll absolutely be able to look it up later. But she made the accusation that the Lord of the Poke was a war criminal, and it was pointed out to her that you're only a war criminal if you lose, and the Lord of the Poke does not intend to lose.
No. And there's a couple notable last minute pokes I got in.
Oh, good. Oh, lovely.
We have Nathan Blakesley. He came in. He's coming in with 41 pokes. He's been a trooper. JL Crystal is at 76 pokes. She's
fantastic.
Very consistent poker. And then Danilo. Danilo.
The peaceful anarchist.
The peaceful anarchist.
Has gone to war.
He's gone to war with 8 pokes. He's throwing punches. Just be aware.
Inappropriate. You are going to have to deal a heavy hand on that. I am thinking nuclear pokes may not be out of the question.
No, we may have to set that up.
I believe that nuclear poking should be an option when people violate the NAP. I want to give a shout out to Jimmy Weidenhoff. Jimmy Weidenhoff is actually related to the Lord of the Poke. He's his cousin.
Oh, wow. Family.
Yes.
I have family as well, actually. Jillian Marriage with 33 pokes as well.
Jimmy was engaged in a poke war with Paul Gordon a few years back. It was very vicious. It went on for a few months, and I have no idea. I can't remember how many pokes it was up to, but at some point Jimmy fell on his poking finger because he knew he could go no further. Somehow he was revived, and after a few years of respite, he must have been secretly building a poke army, because now he's back and he's up to 48 pokes. So
wow.
At this point,
that's some dedication.
I want to welcome Nick Puntillo, who poked me. Nick, welcome to your demise. You're welcome.
Yep, this is the end.
This is the end.
My only friend, the end.
I got to give a shout out to Ryan Sandler. Ryan is actually my brother, and
wow.
Apparently, Ryan has already lost the first round because it's reset to 0 pokes. He has 1 poke on me right now. He was up to around 140 or so before he surrendered. And in the Lord of the Pokes, I keep confusing myself with myself. I am not the Lord of the Poke, Paul Gordon. It happens. I am the reporter, Paul Gordon. And I just want to clarify that in the Lord of the Pokes, Mercy, he did not basically completely disarm Ryan Sandler in the piece, and for that he was paid with more naked aggression.
Gotta love the naked aggression.
Mentions here, sir. I want to hear more of your mentions before I get to more of mine.
Well, I got Matt Welch coming in at 30 pokes. Hallie Moss, 103 pokes. She's been a trooper.
That's a significant battle going on.
Yeah, and then Melissa Vaughn at 20 pokes. It's quite impressive.
Very, very impressive. Very impressive.
And I'm a little disappointed in Jack Rackham. He only has 2 pokes so far, but he's a real trooper. He produces some quality memes, and I'm surprised he hasn't been more involved in the poke war. So if you're watching, you got to step up your game, buddy.
Yes, very disappointed in you. I don't even know you, and I'm disappointed in you, and that says a lot, because I'm not disappointed in anyone. And, well, no, I don't know why you laugh. I'm not the type of person that's disappointed in people.
You're not a type of person. You're an original people.
I am an OP.
You are an OP.
That's another story altogether.
Original poker.
Tammy Hogue. By the way, a lot of you folks,
yeah.
We've never heard your names spoken out loud, so if we mangle your names,
let
us
fault.
know.
That's your fault.
That's your fault. You know what? That's what do you call that? Collateral damage?
It's going to happen. With this type of warfare, it's gonna happen.
This is a non-linear type of warfare. So last names, yeah, they're gonna get mangled. In some cases, first names are gonna get mangled.
Yes.
But I want to give a shout out to you. You're at 115 pokes, and next to Andrew Marich, I would have to say the 2 most brutal contenders that the Lord of the Poke considers the most threatening are Volley Wong. And she is at 301 pokes. It's very, very disturbing.
That is disturbing. I remember we were poking up into near the 200s and it reset.
It's almost it
was quite. There was it can happen.
Yeah. There was either
this war is messy.
I think what happened there is she realized she couldn't fight a two-front war. Now you guys need to get to my level. Well, not my level because I'm not Paul Gordon, the Lord of the Poke. I'm Paul Gordon, the reporter. Two different people, even though they occupy the same body and they have the same name. But he, the Lord of the Poke. I want to clarify there. He is involved in a war on fronts that go in, I don't know, 20, 25, I don't know. But there's a lot of fronts that he's fighting on. But Volley was not able to handle two fronts, and so had to make peace with one front so that she could concentrate on the other front. She was
multi-front wars are not for the lighthearted.
She's taken on the advice of I believe Otto von Bismarck.
Yep.
And she's taken the Bismarck strategy there. I understand.
You will not take Russia with a ground war. Just letting you know.
Right. No, you will not. You will not. And the Lord of the Poke, he's like Russia to you. So that's your fate to come. Michael Barnes. Now, interesting factoid on Michael Barnes. Paul Gordon used to sleep with Michael Barnes for about a year or so. Went to the same school. It was I guess you could say it was a private school, but it wasn't really it wasn't a rich school. It was a different kind of school. I won't say the name, but you lived in, you shared rooms. So Paul Gordon and Michael Barnes shared room for about a year. Well, they did sleep together. You can't deny that. The Lord of the Poke and Michael Barnes slept together for a year. Now, albeit it wasn't different beds, but that's a technicality.
Were you the big spoon?
I am not Paul Gordon, Lord of the Poke.
Lord of the Poke was the... Okay.
Lord of the Poke, of course, was the big spoon. Okay. There's no doubt about that. But he is up to 363 pokes, and yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, my next highest is Vincent Light, 344.
Pretty incredible.
Followed
do you have any
by
stories to tell about these vicious pokerists that you're facing?
Not really. They're all pretty benevolent.
Really? They're engaged in a asymmetrical war of poke terror against you.
I haven't really heard much from many of them, except for John Smith has given me plenty of trouble at 156 pokes.
John Smith, yes,
He's
Smith
brutal.
And he also engages in propaganda.
He does
on occasion.
He's quite brutal.
But I have to say, in terms of propaganda, I have to say, at least for me, and I'm gonna butcher your name. So, like I said, collateral damage. Yavor Zyatanov. He's only up to 107 pokes, but he's a cocky poker. He will regularly, if the Lord of the Poke goes a few hours without responding to his poke, Yavor will then issue declarations of victory, basically fake news reports against the Lord of the Poke. What's interesting is the Lord of the Poke does not do the same because of his benevolence and the fact that he relies on only facts and logic and reason and truth and
that doesn't get you far.
Quality, justice. Well, this is what he stands for. He stands for
don't poke me.
Imperialism in the name of equality and justice. So Yavor will go regularly, hours at a time.
I just got a poke in. I just got a poke in live. Joey Obenberger coming in at 271. He finally made it to
Joey Obenberger, you made it to the show. Congratulations.
We found him.
Yes,
we found him.
Welcome you. We welcome you to your own demise.
No child left behind. I mean,
no poker.
No
pokerist.
No pokerist. Leave no poker behind. Yeah.
Leave no poker behind here. I'm going to go through here and make sure I haven't missed anybody that's on this list right now. Again, we have some pokerists that aren't going to make it on this list because they didn't poke back, and we told them the report was coming. We got Robert Friel, who's coming in at 18 pokes. Robert, shout out to Robert. Well done. I welcome you to your demise. Jordan Carter with the trash dove as his avatar there. Classic. He's up to 39 pokes. I welcome you to your demise. I welcome you all to your demise. And I think I've mentioned everyone. I just have one person left to talk about.
I have one left with Heather Greenleaf at 163. She's a good friend.
What do you have to say about Heather?
She's been quite a good follower. She's been poking. She's right in the war. I think she should start branching out. She could take on a two-front war easily.
Yeah, these folks definitely need to step up their game.
Yep.
Not all of them. Some of them are doing quite well, but some of you need to step up your game. If you want to make it to the headline status,
you got to do some stuff.
You got to do some stuff. You want to make it to the big show.
Yeah. Making memes is pretty important.
You're all heading to your poke demise, so you might as well enjoy the ride. That's where I'm at. I just have one more person to talk about.
Okay. That's all. Yeah, I'm all out.
You didn't talk about the Lord of the Poke.
We mentioned it early on.
No. That was just in glancing. I mean, I mentioned Andrew Marriage in glancing, but oh no.
Well, one of the worst.
The very, very Andrew Marriage is easily. He is Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah,
and ISIS combined.
ISIS all rolled up in one as far as a pokerist is concerned.
I'll poke you when you least expect it.
He will strap on pokes and send in children to self-poke themselves to death while poking everybody around them to death.
I'll even hide behind children while I poke.
Yes, he will. He will use children as poke shields. He's been known to do that. It's inhumane. At this point, we are up to,
what are you gonna do?
On my end, you poked the Lord of the Poke 606 times.
It's not that impressive. I think I could do some work on that. But you didn't poke back, so there's not much I can do.
Right. But I'm going to fix that right now. Right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually going to unleash all my pokes right now.
Yes. We are about ready to do this. This is how we'll wrap up the show. I think this is a great way to wrap up.
I think this is a great way to wrap it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap up the show by poking all you people back. You wanted it. You got it. Welcome to your demise.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And we're poking.
Poking.
Daryl is poked. Victor is poked. Walt is poked. Bryant is poked. Jimmy is poked. Nick is poked. Robert is poked. Ryan is poked.
607 with Paul Gordon.
Let's see. Tammy is poked. Michael is poked. Volley is poked. John Smith is poked. Oh, we got some poking backers already. We got Andrew Ferguson, Robert, Bodhi, and Carl. Carl is stepping up his game.
Yeah, Carl. Why don't you poke me back, you bitch?
Carl. Yeah, you have anything more to say? I think we've wrapped this show up. I think we should.
We in the head. We have to get back to the warfare.
We, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back next week, some point. When we're able to poke our head above the pokosphere, we will get back to you with next week's Poke Report.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and follow Nepas TV.
Share, and subscribe, and follow. And there's going to be T-shirts on the way, and
there's going to be everything.
Probably some edible underwears on the way. There's going to be stuff.
If we can get Derica involved to make some edible underwear, I think that would be...
Yes, gluten-free.
Gluten-free, please.
Gluten-free, absolutely. Gluten-free is the only way to go.
All
and
right.
I'm just really happy about all the folks that are poking us back right now. Like I said, I welcome you to your demise.
Thanks for watching. Peace and pokes.